So, what if I told you the secret to acing your exams isn't about studying harder, but studying smarter? Today, we're going to unlock the system top students use to learn way more in a lot less time. And here's the honest truth: they didn't study harder. Nope, they just studied differently.
Just take a look. This could be you. Seriously. Not some born genius, not someone with a perfect memory, just a regular student. And you know what? Some of the most successful people in history started out exactly the same way. They weren't born with some special advantage, they just learned how to create one.
I mean, think about someone like Oppenheimer. Before he literally changed the world by splitting the atom, he was just a guy sitting in a classroom learning stuff. So, what's the difference? What separates a student like that from everyone else? Well, it's the answer to a question we've all asked ourselves, probably at 3 in the morning. Why do some people remember everything while the rest of us just draw a total blank? That's what we're going to figure out.
Okay, so to understand how to remember, we've got to face a really hard truth about forgetting. And here's the thing: it's not your fault. It's actually a feature of your brain. See, your brain is designed to actively delete information it thinks is unimportant. The only problem is, it's deleting all your hard work.
Just look at these numbers. This is called the forgetting curve, and it is absolutely brutal. Within a single hour, poof, half of what you just learned can be gone. A day later, 70% has vanished. And by the end of the week, it's like you barely even opened the book. All that effort, just gone.
So how in the world do you beat this? Well, the smartest students don't fight against their memory. They hack it. And that brings us to our very first technique, and it's the foundation of everything: spaced repetition. This is how you send a clear signal to your brain that says, hey, this is important. You need to save it.
So instead of that one huge all-night cram session, you're doing a bunch of short sprints over time. You learn it on day 1, then you do a quick review on day 2. You take another look a week later, and then maybe a month after that. Each time you review, you interrupt that forgetting curve and basically force your brain to lock that memory in deeper and stronger every single time. Come on, we've all been there, right? The late-night, caffeine-fueled cram session. It feels productive, but honestly, it's just an illusion. It creates this fake confidence that just disappears the second you're under pressure. Spaced learning, though, that builds the real thing: a durable, reliable memory. It's how you walk into an exam and actually know the answers. All right, now for something that's going to sound completely backwards, but it is backed up by some serious neuroscience. One of the most powerful things you can do to learn better is to just stop learning. That's right. Taking strategic breaks actually makes you smarter. Here's why it works. The second you step away, your brain gets to work. It kicks into this default mode and starts replaying everything you just learned, but at hyper speed, strengthening all those new connections. Think of it like this: studying is you typing in the data. The break is when your brain actually hits the save button. And without that break, that file just gets corrupted. Now, a super powerful way to structure all this is the Pomodoro technique. It's simple: 25 minutes of intense, locked-in focus, then a 5-minute break. And you just repeat it. That's it. The genius here is that 25 minutes is just long enough to get into a deep focus, but short enough that you don't burn out. It's the perfect rhythm for getting things done. But, and this is so critical, there's a catch. What you do on your break really, really matters. If you just grab your phone and start scrolling through social media, you completely hijack that vital memory replay process. A real break isn't about distraction, it's about giving your brain the quiet space it needs to do its magic. Okay, let's get to our final core technique. And I'm going to be straight with you. This one's the hardest. But it is, by a huge margin, the most powerful. It's called active recall, and it's pretty much the secret weapon for deep, lasting knowledge. So what even is active recall? Well, it's forcing your brain to pull information out of it without any help. So instead of just rereading a chapter, you close the book and try to write down everything you can remember. That act of pulling it from your brain, that's what makes the knowledge stick. And yeah, it's gonna feel hard. There's really no way around that. But that feeling of struggle, that's the sign that it's working. It's like lifting a heavy weight at the gym. The strain you feel is literally your brain getting stronger. That's the whole point. See, passive reading is comfortable, it's easy, and it tricks you into thinking you know the material just because you recognize it on the page. Active recall, on the other hand, is uncomfortable, but it's the only way to prove to yourself that you actually get it. It's the difference between being a spectator in your own learning and being the star player. So now we have the system, we have the techniques, but what about the motivation to actually do any of this? This is where we get a little clever and use some brain chemistry to our advantage. This is the part nobody talks about, the dopamine secret. Your brain is basically wired to do one thing above all else: seek rewards. And that reward comes in the form of a chemical called dopamine. Right now, your brain probably connects studying with hard work and effort. We're going to rewire that. We are going to teach your brain to link studying with pleasure, so it actually starts to crave it.
Here's the loop. It's simple. Step 1, set a really small, easy goal, like just study for 25 minutes. Step 2, you do it. Step 3, and this is the most important part, the moment that timer goes off, you immediately give yourself a small reward. The connection has to be instant. Finish studying, get ahead of dopamine. Do that enough, and you create a craving. Okay, let's put it all together. Because these aren't just random tips, This is a powerful, interconnected system. This is how you go from being a passenger in your own education to being the pilot, completely in control. This is your new blueprint for success. You use spaced repetition to beat the forgetting curve. You use strategic breaks to let your memories consolidate. You use active recall to build deep, rock-solid knowledge. And you use dopamine rewards to fuel the whole thing. It's simple. Study less, but remember more. And that's the fundamental truth of it all. Success in school isn't some genetic lottery. It's a matter of strategy. You don't need to be a genius. You really don't. You just need a better system. And now, you have one.